President Trump indicted. It's a first for a current or former U.S. president. What happens next? Making history at JPL will introduce you to the institution's first female director and her advice for other women. You're watching The Rundown. Hello, everyone. I'm Robin Winston. The wheels are reportedly in motion for former President Donald Trump to surrender. He is expected in New York to face criminal charges in the coming days. While the exact charge or charges are still unknown, the Manhattan District Attorney was known to be focusing on a charge of falsifying business records. This is related to the $130,000 payment made to adult film star Stormy Daniels. Trump blasted the grand jury's vote, calling it corrupt and disgraceful. His attorney appeared on the Today Show.
Despite all the scuttlebutt and rumors and whatnot, we believed and hoped that rule of law would have prevailed. So he initially was shocked. After he got over that, he put a notch on his belt, and he decided we have to fight now. And he got into a typical Donald Trump posture where he's ready to be combative on something that he believes is an injustice.
The indictment comes 4 months after President Trump announced his intent to run for a second term. But Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg's investigation into President Trump had been focusing on a felony charge of falsifying business records, which carries a maximum prison sentence of 4 years. That's if the charges stick. President Trump has adamantly refused they will, and he said he won't let an indictment affect his 2024 presidential bid.
Certainly, constitutionally, he can continue to run for president throughout this indictment, throughout whether or not he gets convicted or appealed. So there's nothing in the Constitution that prevents him from running. But of course, politically, what it does is it actually keeps him in the news. And we know this was one of his keys to victory in 2016.
President Trump's attorney says there's zero chance for a plea deal in this, but says they're working on how the ex-president will turn himself in. LA County's COVID-19 emergency declaration has officially ended. This means that county-run COVID testing centers are closing for good. But some of LA County's emergency recommendations were lifted early. And COVID eviction protections for renters in LA County are also ending. So if you don't pay your rent on time, or if you haven't paid in any back rent during the pandemic, your landlord can start the eviction process. There are still rights in place for tenants. For more information, just head to NBCLA.com and search eviction moratorium. Dodgers baseball returned with some new rules and new faces, but the same winning results. They had a big opening day victory over the Arizona Diamondbacks. Pitcher Julio Urias made the start, and although he was a little shaky at first, he went 6 innings and got 6 strikeouts. Rookie outfielder James Outman hit a home run, and the boys in blue never looked back, winning the opener 8-2. The Dodgers looked really good, and the team is excited, and so are we. Go Dodgers! Mountain High Ski Resort in Wrightwood saw 8 to 12 inches of new snowfall Thursday into Friday. This month closes out with a total, you ready for this, of 105 inches of snow. That's a new record for March. Well, this is new video from the ski resort showing what the slopes look like. Wow, look at them go. A lot of snow and fresh powder out there. Mountain High now plans to stay open through the end of April and possibly stay open into May if the conditions are right. Now, if you plan on driving up there, make sure to bring your chains and travel with caution on the mountain roads. Meteorologist Stephanie Olmo is here and tracking a forecast that includes rain and sunshine.
Hello, everyone. Yes, it's been quite the season. We've been talking about rounds of wet weather pretty much since late December, and a lot of these storms associated with atmospheric rivers. So this year, this water year, and just to give you some perspective, the water year starts October 1st, so we're already 6 months in. This year, we've picked up over 27 inches of rain. We take the same time frame last year. Last year, we picked up just under 12 inches, so we well surpassed that. So this is now the wettest season since 18 years ago, 2004, 2005. It was that time we picked up just around 36 inches of rain. And boy, it's been quite the season. It's certainly put a dent in our drought monitor. The start of the water year, we actually had about over 40% of the state under the worst level of drought, exceptional drought. For today, a lot of the areas here drought-free. Some spots dealing with abnormally dry conditions, moderate drought conditions, just 2% of the state under severe drought conditions. As we continue, we head into the weekend. We're looking great, sunny skies for the most part, but we are tracking disturbance to the north of us. It could bring us a shower chance as we head into Monday. Back to you.
Suspended LA City Council member Mark Ridley Thomas has been found guilty on federal corruption charges. Prosecutors argued Ridley Thomas abused his power while he was an LA County supervisor, getting his son a full scholarship and a job at USC in exchange for county contracts with the school. It took 5 days for the jury to reach a verdict.
I believe that this is a sad day for Los Angeles, and I feel that sadness personally. For decades, Mark Ridley Thomas has been a champion for our city, a civil rights activist, a thought leader, and a policymaker who made real impact on this city.
This conviction represents our office's and the Department of Justice's commitment to bringing those who abuse their power, those who engage in corruption, those who abuse the power they were bestowed by the electorate to engage in corrupt acts.
Ridley Thomas is facing several years in prison. He will also permanently lose his seat on the LA City Council. He was suspended from the council 17 months ago. A Utah jury has decided that actress Gwyneth Paltrow is not at fault for a 2016 ski crash that injured a retired Utah optometrist. Terry Sanderson sued Paltrow for $300,000, claiming she skied out of control, crashing into him and causing multiple injuries. Paltrow's attorney argued Sanderson actually skied into her and wasn't hurt as badly as he claimed. Thursday afternoon, the jury found Sanderson 100% responsible. Paltrow released a statement thanking the jury for their thoughtfulness in handling this case. Virgin Orbit, a satellite launch company, is laying off nearly all of its workforce. As the company is stopping operations, it'll have ripple effects here in Southern California. Doors at the Virgin Orbit headquarters in Long Beach remain shut. After failing to secure funding, Virgin Orbit officials say 85% of the workforce will be laid off. That's about 100 jobs. The company says it's providing severance packages as well as setting up workers with potential job opportunities at its sister company, Virgin Galactic. The Queen will see you now. It's been 3 years since the Queen Mary shut down to the public, but now the doors are finally reopening after millions of dollars of repairs. At one point, the ship was in danger of sinking. The city council even considered dismantling it, but now the Queen Mary is ready to welcome guests once again. So if you're interested in going, you must have a reservation. Don't forget, you have to have a reservation for a guided tour. And take me with you. I'd like to go. It's a dream come true for so many rock and roll metal fans. Some of the biggest bands are coming together for a one-weekend festival in the Coachella Valley. Are you ready for this? Guns N' Roses will kick off the Power Trip Festival in Indio. They'll share the stage with Iron Maiden for night one, then AC/DC and the Prince of Darkness himself, Ozzy Osbourne, will take the stage on night two. And then to close the festival, metalheads will rock out with Metallica and Tool. The festival runs October 6th through the 8th. Tickets will start at $600. You can register now to get your first-time access when the sale goes live next Thursday. That's going to be a good show. As we continue to celebrate Women's History Month, we're introducing you to a pretty incredible herstory maker. For the first time in its 87 years, the Jet Propulsion Laboratory in La Cañada Flint Ridge is being led by a female director. Here's meteorologist Belen De Leon with that story.
These are the women of the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Since its start in the 1930s, the presence of women at JPL has slowly grown. And for the first time ever, there are now more than 2,000 women working for the institution, making up some 30% of JPL's workforce.
We have one woman, Sue Finley, who has been here for more than 60 years. She actually has been here since before NASA existed.
Here's another first. JPL now has its first ever woman director, Dr. Lori Leshin.
And it's my first JPL town hall ever.
It's a role she's only had for about a year, but one she's very familiar with.
You know, I've been the first woman in a couple of my leadership roles before I came here.
A distinguished geochemist and space scientist, Dr. Leshin advised presidents on space policy and was honored with NASA's Outstanding Leadership Medal. Looking back at her career, she's glad she didn't take the straight path.
I was in academia for a long time. I ditched tenure and went and joined the government for 6 years, got great experience there, came back to academia, now back in NASA.
Together with her team, she's exploring the final frontier and making changes on the home front at JPL.
You know, one of the things we did pretty soon after I got here was we changed our paid parental leave policy because I was hearing from women about how it wasn't adequate.
A voice for women, but a leader for all. Dr. Leshin is looking ahead to an exciting decade of space exploration with missions that will take astronauts back to the moon, study the icy moon of Jupiter, and return rock samples from Mars.
You know, at JPL, our motto is dare mighty things, but I've added a word since I've been here. It's dare mighty things together, because no one person can send a rover to Mars. No one person can solve climate change.
Here's more advice from Dr. Leshin for women. Look for allies and people who can help you see things differently. And if you're nervous about approaching something new, she says the first 20 seconds of courage could potentially change your career. I'm Belen de Leon.
Dare mighty things together. I love it. Well, I had the chance to serve as MC for the ribbon cutting ceremony of Kids in the Spotlight TV studio in Van Nuys. We had a wonderful time. KIDS is an amazing organization that helps foster youth heal and grow from trauma through the power of storytelling and filmmaking. It's an awesome program where foster youth actually get a chance to write, cast, and star in their own short films. Mayor Karen Bass, a strong advocate for foster youth and the arts, she was there and surprised with an Impact Award for her work. The ceremony included other familiar faces like KIDS Ambassador Ty Burrell and longtime supporter Don Lewis. The future is bright for these kids, and I can't wait to see more of their amazing work from their brand new studio. And congratulations, guys. I'm so proud of you. And thanks for allowing me to be a part of your special day. You can always get news and weather updates on the NBCLA app and our website, NBCLA.com. And be sure to tune into Today in LA on NBC4, weekdays 4 to 7 a.m. I'll be helping you get around with the traffic reports throughout the morning. I'll see you next time on The Rundown.